Yo.
What's up?
Hello. Dude, that was crazy.
What up?
How's it
What's
going,
going
everybody?
on, everybody? It's episode
35.
35.
35.
The big 35.
Yep.
That number you reach and all the shame of your life sets in. I can't wait.
Yep. But we're here right now.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
So it's just the three of us hanging. No Patrick. Just
Yeah. We
Ian
miss
and
you,
Alan.
Patrick. And Adam.
And Adam.
Adam is joining us. Hi, Adam.
I'm ordering a pizza right now, just like getting the munch on for the show today.
Yep.
Yeah, let's walk through this. What kind of pie are you ordering?
I think I'm just getting like a veggie pie with a lot of cheese on it.
What kind of veggies?
I don't know. I just ordered the veggie. That's what was on the
Oh, you
The
got
menu?
the preloaded veg.
Yeah.
Okay.
good old preload veg. It's my fave.
Well, I'm
What
excited.
kind of pizzas do you guys get on the regular?
I eat a shitload of Canadian, and I also have been ordering from Domino's a Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Ooh,
where it's
Philly cheesesteak.
provolone,
Crazy.
steak, I think there's mozzarella on it, green pepper, and onion, and then no sauce.
No
Shit.
sauce. No sauce?
Dude, I thought that was weird as well, but when you taste it, it will blow your mind. Because the provolone has like this grease in it that releases onto the crust, so you get like a layer of like buttery, cheesy flavor,
Okay.
but no sauce.
But no sauce, eh?
Evan
You
would
can get
like
a
that.
dipping sauce on the side.
All right. Well, what I get is usually like chicken and hot pepper and barbecue sauce.
That's the way.
Yep. That's the one that you always get. Nothing but it.
Is there a name for that?
Rub and Tug Special.
The Rub and Tug
The
Special.
Rub and Tug Special.
Pretty
Well, we used to get it at
classic,
this
you know?
place called Big General's Pizza.
You're getting the Rub and
And-
Tug Special.
and
at
above
Big
it used to
General's
be an-
pie.
Yeah, because above it there used to be an Asian massage parlor.
Oh my god.
Little rub and tug.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then
Where's
the
so-
General?
Sauce.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Where's that? What do you
Where's
mean?
the pizza place?
Oh, it was just down the street, but it had closed down, and I thought it had closed down forever until I had driven by some random street, and lo and behold, there was a Big General's Pizza there, and the sauce, the dark and
Smoky
smoky,
sauce.
buttery barbecue sauce.
Oh, hell yeah. You guys are making me hungry, man.
Well, we're gonna be getting a
Sounds
pizza
awesome.
anyways, so yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't the Generals. It's
Generals
not
is
the Rub
no
and Tug
more, man.
Special.
No, wait, they moved, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw them, I found them,
Alright.
and they were there. But anyways,
Well, that sounds like exciting pizza. Not.
yeah, man. Fuck your shit veg pizza.
Yo, so what you guys been up to?
Fuck you.
Oh, nothing.
What's the past week look like for you guys?
Supposed to do this podcast today.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do this podcast today, but you know,
What podcast?
I don't know.
Fucking shit.
Some like,
Probably garbage, man.
yeah, I don't really know what's going on. But no, it's been a good week. Like just enjoying
Chilling?
my life. Yeah.
I
What
saw
about
the
you, Christian?
Danger Liker tune is crushing it.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's doing pretty well.
Dinner is
Yeah, dinner is served.
Are you guys very happy
That
for your
shit's
child,
wild.
your baby, to be out there in the world frolicking through so
Yeah.
many years?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I mean, it's nice to see what some planning can do for a release. You know,
So
like
would you guys
Oh,
plan
yeah,
on like
yeah.
releasing all your up and coming music in a similar fashion, like getting a little rollout behind it? Like what was so different about this one?
It was definitely just a lot of planning. It was just like more like working with someone who like knew like more of like the business side of like, I don't know, like the digital side of the industry.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, if you like talk to these people or make these connections, like, you
Your
know,
song will end up in the right places, kind of deal.
maybe not in the right places, but it'll just be heard more. And then so
Cool.
yeah, so that's doing pretty cool. And then get
where
some
it's
shows coming up and be playing that a bunch maybe. And then yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
What shows
so,
you have coming up?
What shows we have coming up? Ooh, the dates. I gotta remember these dates. I'm gonna look them up. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll do it like Tom Segura. While you name off your dates, we'll give you like a break beat.
Come on, let's go. August 24th.
You don't have to
with
rap
Trauma,
them, dude. You
Lades,
just say
release show.
That
I had
was
to.
weak.
All right. So August 24th, Trauma Lane's release show. 31st at Starlight in Waterloo.
Hell
August
yeah.
31st. And then and then we're playing on the 21st at Hope Fest. Whoever put
21st.
September 21st.
Thank you.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm terrible at announcing these things.
Hope Fest 21st.
Whoever
let's
put
go.
the 20th in our band calendar.
The 20th.
No, they put on the 20th of September Hope Fest.
Is somebody trying to fuck you guys up?
No.
Do you got a troll loose in your calendar?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pillow pants.
Well, anyways, what's new with you guys? What's going on?
You want to start, Alan?
What's going on with me?
Yeah.
I'm just chilling out, you know, enjoying my life.
Have you been? What's been
Enjoying
new?
my life.
Come on, man.
I'm just hanging out, you know, trying to be the best ladybug I can be, you know.
Be the best ladybug
What
you
kind
can
of
be.
traits of a ladybug are you trying to personify?
Well, you know, I don't want to be too flashy, but I am, and I'm there.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Wow. That's the
What
perfect
kind of ladybug? Would you be like one of the orangey ones? One of the like more pinky red ones? Like
I want to be
a
one of
standard red?
those really cool ones that like turn gold.
And you don't know if they're poisonous?
Yeah.
I want to be a ladybug with a skull on my back.
Wow. Big ladybug
Like,
energy right now.
What is that? Lord of the Flies?
I don't know.
No, that's not Lord of the Flies.
I never seen it.
What am I saying?
I don't know.
What's the moth? What's the moth with the skull on the back?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence
Close
of the
enough.
Lambs.
There's-
Silence of the Flies.
Silence of the
British
Flies.
guys.
What? That's a great parody.
Yeah.
Silence of the Flies.
Silence of the
Because
Flies.
they're
Yo,
always like-
speaking of Silence
Whoa.
of the Flies, the flies that you guys had in here the other day tripped me the fuck out. They were crawling all over this monitor we have sitting in front of us on the floor. There was probably, I want to say, 7 flies. It was on a very hot day. They were looking to cool down by hanging out on this hot monitor. I don't think anybody's really taught them sound logic yet, but it's besides the point. They're all crawling around, and all 7 flies just stopped moving at the same time, and I thought I just had a stroke. Like my world just stopped. It froze because I was just staring at them so intently, and they were all like scuttling around for several minutes, and all at the same time they just stopped dead. Are flies like bees? Do they have like a hive mind?
Well, where they all die together? They can
Well,
always
they
have a
didn't
mass.
die.
some
They
ways.
just stopped moving.
Maybe.
It was weird.
Maybe you
man.
need to.
I don't know. I don't know.
Fly
Maybe
man
you were
to
maybe
find
you were
out.
delusional from the heat.
That could be. It was actually only 1 fly, but
It's
my
just too
vision
hot.
was so messed up that it looked like 7.
I believe it.
Me too.
I've been there before here.
I listened to some new music on Friday.
Oh, was it
what?
Chance the Rapper's new album?
No. Did you listen to it yet?
Yep. I listened
What'd you
to
think?
some of it. I kind of listened to like the first few tracks, and
You have
Had
to
a
listen to the
solid
whole
skim.
thing.
Had
You
a
have to
solid
be as
skim.
tortured as me.
I don't know.
If you want to be a great artist, you need to hurt yourself.
It
right,
definitely
wait,
sounds
wait.
like it definitely
For the
sounds
whole
like
album.
music you'd play at like a celebration. It's like you play it at grad, you'd play it at your wedding. All of those tracks sound like those tracks, and it's
It has
kind
hi-
of
it has,
strange.
like, hints of
it's
opera
like
in it,
yeah, it's like
You know?
this huge like thing, but at the same time, it's like it kind of just
Gospel.
sounds like kind of.
I want Chance the Rapper to rap. He doesn't rap at all on this damn
shit.
thing, dude. Oh fuck! It was just so goddamn bad.
All right. What, what have you been listening to?
Oh, I listened to several
Chance the Rapper songs from his new album.
Tool albums. I listened to several Tool albums on Friday.
Spit it out, Christian.
Oh, nice.
They
Yeah.
all arrived on streaming. I was
Wow.
so fucking excited for this. I grabbed them all in the morning. I listened to every record back to back. It took several hours
Damn, you went through the whole catalog.
back to back because I've never listened to them like that in like chronological order.
Uh-huh.
And I was curious to see, because Tool's known for like doing little weirdness and shit.
Mhm.
I was curious to see if there's like continuities from record to record. My findings are inconclusive.
So what'd you listen to though?
All of it
Yeah, every
Yeah.
single song.
From who?
Tool.
from Tool.
Sorry, I misheard that.
Guess what the top 5 most popular songs are on Spotify. Just guess.
With the top 5 most popular songs on Spotify.
Is that like
Just
this
in the
week?
Yeah, since they
Their
because they
entire
released it on
existence
Friday.
on Spotify.
Yeah.
Tools. Tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 is gonna be
Zombie.
or Lateralis.
The Pot.
The Pot. Yeah.
No, this is not number 1. Well,
What?
Well, a couple of those are in the top 5, but
Oh, we're trying to get number 1.
yeah, get number 1 first.
Hooker with a penis.
Schism.
Yes.
What was
What
it?
was it?
Schism.
Schism.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
First try?
Wow.
I feel like it's kind of hard to ask like a diehard Tool fan which song would be number 1 though, you know, because they have so
shit,
many
oh,
records
shit.
that I just think are perfect.
It's the most popular amongst the past.
Schism. I should have known because that was
Yeah.
Danny's favorite song.
So we got Schism, we got the Pot, there's 3 left. What other 3 songs would be in the top 5?
What other 3 songs would be in the top 5?
The Pot.
Yeah, The Pot.
So Schism and the Pot are gone.
Not Zombie.
Not Zombie.
Zombie's
Rosetta
amazing, though.
Stoned. Wings for Mary, part 1 and 2. I don't know. Lateralis. Parable.
Really?
It's all off 10,000 Days, isn't it?
Right in 2.
You want me to tell you just
The
Yeah,
Grudge.
sure.
The Grudge.
Schism,
Schism.
46 and
46 and 2. Ah,
Sober,
sober. Okay.
Pot,
The Pot.
Stinkfist.
Sober
Wow,
is a
those
wicked
were yeah.
song.
That's actually makes a lot of sense. Damn it!
I didn't say Sober because I thought that was just like a favorite of mine and wouldn't like.
No, it was a single. You know, it was like one of their first singles that they.
It sounds
True,
pretty
there's a
playable,
video for it, too,
Yeah,
and
it,
everything.
like
hard
caused
song,
a lot
yeah.
of. Was it that one or Prison Sex? It caused like some controversy. It wasn't allowed to be aired on TV, or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tool.
Yeah.
So those records just hit streaming, and
Yep.
all of them hit the number 10 Billboard charts. They're
That's
all
That's insane. So they just then now they're all just right back up at the top.
yeah, man, exactly,
insane.
exactly. And another interesting tidbit. Well, maybe not interesting, almost interesting. The release onto streaming was 10,080
Days.
days since their first album.
Wow.
So close to 10,000 days.
Wow.
So close.
That's crazy.
Wow, guys, you almost had it and you fucked it up.
Where's Salival?
Wow,
That's
not even the
true.
live album.
That's true.
Wow, I feel like I'm on
Yeah.
home. I feel like I'm Richard Karn right now
What does that mean?
on Home Improvement with Tool tips.
Karn.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Ian, you've
gotta
been
get,
listening
gotta
to
get that guy on
You've been
Cameo.
listening to anything besides my voice right now?
Anything that new that came out. North Lane released a new album. That one's okay. It's pretty cool. It's
Oh,
like
it's just okay. I was kind of excited for that
it's
one.
really okay. So it's like really good, but it's like a very specific sound. So you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you kind of have to like be into like what it's trying to convey. Otherwise, it's like so. For example, it's like really electronic based, right? And then some people like when there's a metal element mixed with it, it's like I don't know. I feel like if it's too even of a balance, sometimes it's not very widely accepted. And there's some days where I listen to it and I'm like really into it, and then there's some days I listen to it and I'm like, all right.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? It's like it's that kind of. It's like really
divisive.
got a lot of like electronic elements, which is really sick. But I got to be like into it at the time because then sometimes I'm just like,
How
right.
electronic-y
Makes
compared
sense, yeah.
to Bring Me the Horizon's new record?
well, Bring the Horizons new record's like pretty electronic-y, but it's like kind of delves into like different like subgenres.
Okay.
Whereas
So North Lanes is like it's too blended, you feel like?
no, it's not like too blended. It's just like maybe I just haven't listened to it enough because like some days I'll like be like this is fucking sick, like this is
Right,
amazing, and it's
right.
like but it sets such a vibe, right? Like the reason why I think they put that much into that album was to like set this kind of like vibe, which it does.
Mm-hmm.
There's just sometimes where I'm like I don't know, it's like when I'm in the mood for listening to like metal versus when I'm in the mood listening to like whatever else. It's like now it's harder for that to be pulled into like that metal kind of thing.
Do you
Like,
ever
I'll kind of like lean less towards that if I'm going to just some metal listening, you know.
do you guys ever listen
Makes
to a
sense.
record when it first comes out and you think it's the shit and it's fucking awesome, and then you go back for a second listen and it turns out it's actually really bad? Does that ever
feel like I've
happen to
had
you? I
that
feel
too,
like
yeah,
I
for
get
sure.
jaded by a couple records a year like that. Where
Let's
I'm
hear
like,
them. What like what?
I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head, but so here's kind of the scenario that plays out. I'm really excited for the record. I've been waiting for at minimum a few weeks for this specific record to come out. It comes out. I listen to it. Maybe not in like the best environment, like maybe I got one headphone in or something, and I go through the whole thing. I'm like, man, that was fucking awesome. And I think about it for a couple hours. I'm like, can't wait to listen to that again. Then you pop it on, and it just gets you, and you're like,
Yeah.
what did I hear that first time? Because
Yeah,
it's not here
yeah.
anymor.
Yeah. It's got like
And
it's
then
like
if a record does that to me, I could never go back.
it's not a 5 alarm chili. It's
almost-
a
it's
2 alarm chili.
Dad, are we going to jail?
Yeah, maybe that's
It's
kind of
only
what it
2
is. Like
alarm.
Yeah, it's a 2 alarm
it's
chili.
it's super mild. It's super mild. So
And it hits you
because
quick. It hits you
because I have
quick.
the hype built up behind it,
Yeah.
it gives me just enough dopamine for that first listen to think that it's great. But then once the love hormones are worn off, then I'm just like, I see it for what it really is.
Yeah.
It's made with extracts and not hallucinogenic dose meth.
Hey.
Adam said it best
Hey.
right
Yep.
there.
Straight from the frog's back.
Yeah.
Is that a
Bob's
saying?
your uncle.
Is that a saying?
Wow.
Everything I say is a saying.
That is
Including
true.
that, everything I say is a saying.
Are you fucking with me?
That is true. Hey, I want to try to do something. If Adam is able to bring up a video, I don't have it in the doc, but did you guys hear about Katy Perry getting sued for like ripping off that tune?
Yeah, that like
Which song?
That's bullshit.
so Dark,
Dark
Horse
Horse?
was like, what's the song?
I wanted to
called?
see if we could if you could
Hasn't
find
that
a
been out
video
for a
where
while?
it compares them, so we can judge it.
Yeah, but he doesn't really like compare them. He kind of like draws it out with like other melodies and shit to kind of drive the point of how
I
I
broad,
want to hear them
how
side
broad
to
the
side. So
comparison.
I've been
really
reading
is.
about this a bunch, but I haven't heard them side to side yet, and I wanted to do it live with you guys to see if
Whoa,
we.
live.
So the stock one you think is, or what about the short?
I always go for short ones. Oh, dumb narrator.
This one looks pretty. We'll see.
Okay.
Jeez.
Levels okay. I don't know.
Down.
It's not working.
That's all right. It will just only blare through the mics a little bit. Okay, so they're what are they saying? The chord structure is the same with the
It's the
Yeah.
flap, 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 flap.
right,
Whereas here's
but then it goes
here's are different notes entirely.
okay,
Well, yeah, different key and everything. And
Right.
It's just a similar vibe.
okay.
There's so many songs that have pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like specifically I've heard that same kind of hit many times in a similar structure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Katy Perry was just ordered, or like everybody involved with the making of her tune, they have to pay. Let me see. Did I write it down?
Wasn't like 27 mil or
Shit.
something altogether.
Yeah, it was like 27
Damn.
million.
Yeah.
I mean, ham.
Like,
fucking-
dude, you know, it's insane, man. Like the fact that it's based on that comparison alone, like nothing else, like the chord progression under it, or like the beat under it, or the tempo.
You gotta
It's
wait
literally
for
like
the timbre,
one.
and it's not even the same timbre.
Yeah.
Like there's the whip, 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 whip. Like you can hear the one that's super
Yeah.
glidey, and then the hers is really.
And what's yeah, it's ridiculous, but I
It
yeah.
does. I mean, but it's been
Yeah,
going on.
exactly.
It's
it
been
does.
going on for a long time where you have
Yeah.
like these sonic coincidences where it's not necessarily one artist ripping off another. It's just there's so many damn people on planet Earth you're bound to come up with similar ideas, and
Right.
I feel like you have to look at it a little bit deeper, like as in talking to these people and getting their stems and seeing how it was all made, you know?
Right.
It's like that episode of Louis where he has the whole beef with Dane Cook about the itchy asshole joke, and his
Oh,
daughter
yeah.
wants to see Dane Cook, so he's trying to get him tickets.
No,
through
no,
him.
she's trying to see Lady Gaga
Okay.
or something like that, and he can get tickets because they have like the same, because he knows like her manager or whatever, but he has to
Okay,
go through
yeah.
like Dane Cook or something like that.
And they have this
Yeah.
whole conversation that's basically based on that. Like, maybe you saw something I did and you know, subconsciously like process that, or like, you know.
Yeah,
It's a funny
I always hear
episode.
that's like a thing too, where lots of artists will try not to. I heard it specifically with demo tapes. They won't take demo tapes from other artists because they don't want to accidentally rip them off.
It's understandable.
Do you think you could ever
Ah.
accidentally rip somebody off? Like, do you think you've ever written something where like maybe your neighbor like jammed a riff and then you played it and thought that like you came up with it, but it was just somehow buried deep in your unconscious mind?
It's like an elementary school joke.
I-
Like, I made that up.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Yo, I was always the kid who would like whisper a joke to the guy. I think there's a Key and Peele skit on this where you whisper a joke to the guy beside you, and then he announces it to the whole class, and you're like,
oh my god.
"Dude,
That's my joke.
that's my joke."
I'm taking a dive.
Yeah.
You could
It's
feel yourself turning into the Joker because of it.
it's hard. Yeah, it would be. It's hard to think about that if like you were around somebody while you were showing some of your music, or while some of your music was around,
Mm-hmm.
and then like in some short amount of time later, they happen to release something that sounds very similar,
Mm-hmm.
and they have some huge success off of it. Yeah, that's.
That would make me want to
yeah.
explode as
I
a
wonder
human
if
being.
they've ever had some sort of interaction before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it makes you wonder if
Even
like
the smallest thing, like you. What
they
if you were
were
like
in-
in a car,
yeah.
listening to it, driving by this guy on the street, and he just heard it, and then he accidentally
That's
stole
fine.
your.
That's mine. That's mine. That's
like-
mine now.
You're like Banya, like, hey, puke. That's a funny word. Can I use that?
Can I use that?
Have you ever written something that you felt
Ding,
like it
ding,
sounded really
ding.
familiar, but you couldn't like pinpoint it?
All the
I've done that
Oh,
a
yeah.
ton
Yeah.
of times.
Yeah, it
100%.
almost gets. Sometimes it gets to the point that when I would like write something, it would be like the first thing was like, "Whoa, that's pretty sick." It has to have been already made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that exact feeling, because
Yeah.
you have the second of brilliant accomplishment, and then you hit that second stone where you're like, wait, I couldn't have done this.
Yeah,
I'm a
you
garbage person.
don't you don't feel like
That's the
you
way to do
because you don't you can't look back on like, oh, I went here and here and here and
Right.
here and I thought about it like this and then I made this fit in this way. It's
Right.
more like, oh, it all happened so fast,
Right.
so it's almost like you kind of like grabbed it out of the air or something,
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
that's why it's like almost like a too good to be true thing. But
Yeah.
well, yeah, I guess that's why it makes it feel kind of weird. It almost feels like deja vu when it happens a little bit. Like
Yeah,
there's
a
just like a level of strangeness to it.
yeah,
I don't know. It happens.
like-
What do we got over here?
I have an image which would usually be in your site, but it's behind you now.
Okay, what is it?
whoa, what is it?
What we got an image, like a little comic here.
Check it
Is
out.
that
Adam, you want to
always there?
yell into the mic?
So it's these two guys. One guy hands another guy a strange object and says, "I made this." And the other guy says, "You made this?" And then the next panel is him looking at it, and the next panel is him looking at it again by himself, saying, "I made this."
That's cute.
That is too real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So simple, yet so effective. Yeah. So I don't know how I would feel about that. Is like that's showbiz, baby. It's like
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
just,
I mean,
you know,
you snooze, you lose, kind of in my head.
yeah. And it's not just saying like because some people will be like, oh, good artists borrow, great artists steal,
Right.
and then
And I'm also not
but he
saying
also-
run into your jam hall neighbor's like room and like steal their music. But,
Yeah.
I mean, these things are gonna happen, and I feel like
Yeah.
the like legal scraps that have been going down are kind of shitty.
There's 12
Yeah.
notes. What do you want?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Well, hell
it's
yeah.
it's a hard thing, and then especially like,
Oh, here's an angle. He is a Christian singer, the guy who sued her.
yep,
and
he's a
he
Christian
included-
rapper. Yeah.
He included pagan imagery and witchcraft in part of his lawsuit.
Hello.
What?
You taking a call on the cast guy?
Oh, his
This is-
pizza's here, dude.
Oh, pizza!
Yo, hold up.
Yeah, we got some pizza going on here.
That's allowed. That's okay now.
We'll let it slide.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so he's just doing it on like a weird moralistic front, and he did it like 5 or 6 years after the first song came out.
Right.
Like it's wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I heard about like the initial rumblings of this like a long time ago. So then when it came back up, I was kind of like, what? Did I miss something? What? I don't know.
What's with paganism and witchcraft?
Yeah, that's
How is
kind of
that?
bizarre.
Exactly.
There's no legal grounds for suing someone for that.
Is he
Yeah.
saying that she's like defaming his image by
Yes, by
using
taking
that?
his little synth melody, making it completely different,
Making it so pagan.
and only using it in the verses in the background for tone, for notes. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's too broad of a comparison for it to be justified. Like, I've heard of other cases of other artists and other pieces of music that are way more similar, like to the point where it's like definite plagiarism. You know what I mean? What?
That Coldplay one, kind of, that was the exact same melody.
Oh, the Coldplay one with Joe Satriani.
Someone got sued in that one.
Yeah, that was Joe Satriani. It's like not I believe I can fly. I think I can fly. I think I could fly or something. And then the Coldplay song was La Vida C'est la Vie or
No,
whatever.
It was Talk, I think.
No, it was it was like I used to rule the world.
That's a different Coldplay lawsuit.
That's the song though with Joe Satriani that I'm talking about.
So did Joe sue them or no? Joe Satriani he did sue them? Sue the pants off of them?
Yes.
Well, while Adam pulls that up, here comes a pizza.
Got a pizza here.
How appropriate is it to eat
Oh my
pizza
God,
on
yeah,
live?
It's like. Fuck me, it's
The Satriani one is like,
melody.
yeah.
You're right. It is beautiful.
Pizza pie. You guys want in?
Fuck yeah,
Uh,
dude.
It's a
I'm
it's
okay.
a little hot.
Oh yeah, I'll wait for it to cool down.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be the only one eating pizza?
No, dude, I'll eat a slice. We just have to
Alright.
practice good eating
go.
etiquette on the mics
Yeah.
No doubt.
and not just sit in silence and eat.
Yeah.
I'll
um,
pull up the chair and then have a
I have
slice.
kind of the perfect background music.
All right, Adam, we're giving you the mic.
incoming mic, Adam.
Pizza time. Pizza time.
Oh my god.
There's more for me to say. Pizza time.
Dude. Dude, Toby's the shit, man. Ooh, that looks like a mean pie, dude. What do we got on that pie? Tomato, green pepper.
We're talking beans,
Olive.
greens, potatoes, tomatoes. No, we got just standard veg with black olives on top. I didn't even ask for the black olives, but I'm okay with it.
Hey, sometimes you don't have to ask, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going in.
Do you ever
Wow.
wonder what the people are like who make things like this?
Geniuses.
Like,
These are the original auto-tune the news people.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
The original auto-tune people?
Auto-tune the news.
Auto-tuned news. Not really. I'm gonna give you a mic, Adam.
Okay, well, Ian sets Adam up with a mic. I'm just going to talk to all you people out there in space. So, I saw this fucking video where this Chinese water park attendant has the controls for a wave pool malfunction on him, and it sends a tsunami-sized wave through a wave pool full of people. You should search it up. Yeah, dude, look it up. It's fucking wild. Make sure you put it on the green screen for people to check out. Yeah, it was kind of funny watching it because I search up wave pool China tsunami wave, something like that. Should come up.
Okay. Oh Christ, my voice is extremely loud. All of a sudden, the slight delay really trips me out. Oh boy, there I am. Okay. Oh God.
So
I'm
much
sorry
bad
everyone
mic
can hear
control
me now.
going on everywhere.
So China wave pool, something.
Chinese wave pool tsunami. Just type
Tsunami.
that. Every article said it literally was a tsunami wave. I'm sure it'll be the first result that comes up.
No one can hear you, Alan.
Yeah, dude. I think it's that second video there, or maybe the third one.
Did Marconi sleep before he had the first piece of the time?
Rogue wave injures 44 in tsunami pool.
Yeah, let's go. For
Would
the
you guys
most
climb into
sensationalized
a
headline.
theme park attraction called Tsunami Pool?
Tsunami pool.
All right, let's get this video
This is
right
not your
into our
mommy's
peepers.
tsunami pool.
Dude, it is wild. And
I
it got
almost-
me thinking too. When I was a kid, I was praying for stuff like this to happen. As an adult watching it, I'm
You were just hoping for
horrified.
like the biggest
Yeah.
wave
Yes.
ever to hit.
Do you guys not remember sitting in a wave pool and just being
Yeah.
like, "Man, you could do better than this."
I hope it gets lit real soon.
I remember at Bingaman's water park in their wave pool, there was like a little area that was blocked off by like a couple walls. I think it was kind of supposed to be like a chill out area.
Okay.
But if you hung out in the hallway entrance to it, the waves would slap in there the hardest. So I hung out there in hopes that I would be bashed around
Swept
by the
away.
waves.
Oh,
Oh shit, I missed it.
sloshed, guy.
I missed
Wow.
it. Can we run it back?
I'm gonna zoom in and run back.
Oh, it's
we
coming
got
slow motion.
slow-mo.
All right, it's fine.
You know what, Sky News, I misjudged you because your
jeez.
sensationalized headline,
That
but
is deadly
great work with
looking.
the slow mo.
Wow.
That would wreck any kid
You
limb.
know what
Holy
subreddit that
Christ.
should go on? R kill the cameraman. Why does he turn
Or
away
kill
from
you.
the
Yeah,
Why does he
Gifts
turn
that
away
end too
from the wave?
soon.
Yeah, man. Come on. Still though, doesn't that look gnarly?
Whoa, yeah.
There's
Wow.
people
His-
flying out of the
his-
Out of the pool.
the cameraman's socks got wet.
Imagine being
That's not
right at the
good.
back and letting riding the whole wave up like on a surfboard,
Jeez.
just like riding people.
So this is a confirmed like rogue water park worker.
So, yeah. So here's what I heard. I heard two different stories. The first one that seemed to have broke was that the attendant operating like the controls of it got really drunk and just thought it would be funny to turn it to maximum.
Correct.
And I choose to subscribe to that story because it's pretty funny. Where the other side was, it's just a malfunction. But then I just saw people arguing on the internet that the Chinese government's just trying to cover it up so tourists keep coming here. They're just trying to say it was a malfunction and not a crazed employee.
Isn't a malfunction like worse though? Because a malfunction
I
can
would
just
think
sort of
so.
happen.
Yeah.
But
I would
think
you
so.
can just not have crazy employees and avoid this.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
like, you know, a
We
malfunction.
all work. We've all worked jobs here. Are
Yeah.
you sure you can't have crazy employees?
Oh well, you can, but it's
you can
it's
have
more
crazy
avoidable than malfunctions. Just an ambiguous malfunction.
You can take care
Could
of an
happen.
annoying employee problem,
Yes, exactly.
but a
Malfunctions,
machine is
though.
like
Yeah.
thousands.
just
Oh,
like-
you know how
just
you
like-
take care of the annoying employees? You put them in the wave pool
Exactly.
on tsunami setting as a test.
We just need to see if
love
this
it.
is
Oh.
safe and
Imagine,
legal.
oh, dude, imagine if we did like witch trials in today's age, and we would like just put them in the wave,
Wave
pool and
pool
blast
trials.
them like that.
You guys coming up to Bingaman's to see if the witch is a witch or not? Gonna crank up the knob on the wave pool all the way and just see what
I'm
happens.
imagining this Spinal Tap-esque knob in the control room.
Please go to 11.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to 11, but 11 has like this satisfying click behind it, like maybe
yeah.
a little red light turns on. Or
Even a little
alternatively,
bell built in.
Alternatively, it could be like a nuclear launch pad control unit where it has like two keys that you need to operate it. You have to have like a whole...
Two keys and the glass comes up.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole staff operation to unleash one tsunami wave.
Staph infection if it's a water park. Ooh.
Hey, that's true.
Oh.
I had another There was another relevant thing. Oh,
Does anybody want
speaking
a
of doing
slice?
bizarre inhuman tests, did you guys hear about how there was this guy who like donated his mother's remains, her body, to Alzheimer's research, and found out that the friggin' U.S. government sold it to some company for $5,000 and blew her up in a chair as like an IED test? Isn't that fucked? Isn't that bananas?
That's fucking awesome, dude.
So there's this crazy company in the States run by some guy named Stephen Gore. That's his
Okay.
real name.
Hi, I'm
Alright.
And
Gore.
like he's been raided by the FBI a bunch, and they've found like buckets of male genitals in his facilities, and
Oh,
like
I heard about
people
this.
sewn together and shit, and just like because he has a military contract, he can just test stuff. And all these people are like,
Wow.
well, you know, it's been happening for a long time. The military buys bodies; it's way cheaper
So wait,
and
he
more
got this
realistic to
woman and
test.
blew her up?
Yeah, he buys like dead bodies to test
The
weapons
whole
on,
woman,
basically.
and he just blew her up in
yeah,
a chair?
yeah,
Whoa.
it's fucking crazy. And that's like the least of the
What
stuff
kind of
they
military test is that?
do. Like apparently,
What
it's-
difference does it make if there's a dead body sitting there or not?
Well, that's what
Yep,
they say.
it
That's
blew up.
they're all like, well, ballistics gel just doesn't do the job. Pigs don't do the job. You need the real thing. And so it's fucking crazy.
What? I want.
That's what you do when there's so much money in your military budget. That
They're like,
Yeah,
you-
man,
you
for
know.
sure.
It's
Like,
made
we
out
gotta
of
find
people.
things to
You
spend
like-
this on.
It's like you need to be doing that. You need to be
what?
buying corpses for $5,000 and blowing them up in chairs.
$5,000.
It's like a
Yeah,
cold
that's-
steel greatsword shit.
It's crazy.
So
It's like-
Yeah,
the
cold
lady's
steel
son,
greatsword.
the lady's son sold the corpse.
He donated it to Alzheimer's research.
Oh, so he didn't even get the cash.
No, the military, or like whoever, like the military or somebody got the cash and sold it to this contractor or some shit.
So
Or it was sold to the military
strange
and
thing-
it ended up with this contractor.
okay,
It's crazy town.
the thing that
I should probably pull it
have
up.
an issue with this story is that the Alzheimer's Foundation is the scummy middleman.
You never know.
I'd be
man.
okay,
You
like-
never know what. You never know, like if certain organizations might be.
Oh, dude, I'm the biggest pessimist in the world. I think they're all shite.
Yep.
I don't trust anybody until they give me a reason to.
Sauce.
So they give you some proof.
And now I trust them because they just blew a fucking old lady up in a chair.
It's madness.
That shit is awesome.
An Arizona man is suing body donation company for selling his mother's body to the military for blast testing.
For
Like it's
blast
so
testing.
dark and horrific that it's just like that it's comedic.
Dude,
It's
she was
ridiculous.
doing nothing. She wasn't doing anything
It's
anyway.
so fucked. It's just like, what kind of world is this? You know, like this is some super jail shit. Like this is
That
a
is
cartoon.
true.
This is like an Adult Swim 15-minute cartoon thing that would happen.
It's funny that this stuff comes up though, because ever since Donnie Trumpet was elected as president, I kind of took a bit. I took a bit of an absence away from the news, but like occasionally stuff like this will hit me, and I really enjoy satirical news articles. Like I think they're really fun and hilarious. So when stuff like this gets to me, and it's not written in the Onion, I'm like,
Not the Onion.
dude,
That's
we're
another
living
great,
in the best dimension and the worst one at the same time.
That's a subreddit. Not the Onion.
Fuck yeah.
It's so great. Just real headlines where you're just like, how is that?
How is
not
that
the
real?
Onion?
Yeah, I actually wrote a couple down here,
Ooh.
just if you guys wanted to hear them.
Wacky news segment. Why don't we have a little soundboard, little song for this? Oh, we have a background though, don't we? We have a news one.
Didn't we just
Oh
delete it?
yeah.
Oh, what?
No, wait,
Oh,
no.
it's
Is
still
it?
there?
Is there one that says with?
Yep. Oh, we're in.
It has a song, dude. I think it's this one. Perfect. Hey,
Oh, we're in the news now.
welcome to the Ape Audio newsroom.
Welcome to the news.
We've got some devastating news articles to touch on here. We're devastating.
Devastating some news articles here.
All right. Are you ready for the first one, dudes? McDonald's worker fired for refusing to serve paramedics. Quoting, "We don't serve your kind here."
They're not pandas. Like I get it if it was a
Imagine how much PCP you have to be on for a paramedic to walk into your fast food restaurant. You said some shit like that to them. I'm curious to know what the reply was. Okay?
It's like, yeah, I won't resuscitate you then.
So strange. All right, second one.
This is real life.
Police chief says flushing drugs could create Alabama meth gators.
What?
So it's from this story about this dude who was like about to have his home raided, and I believe he was caught trying to shovel 12 pounds of like amphetamine down the toilet. Meth gator.
Meth gator.
No. Pablo Escobar.
There we go.
Can I grab a slice?
In 1985, a black bear found
Yeah.
and ate $15 million worth of cocaine. There was probably a 5-minute window before he died where he was the most dangerous apex predator on any fucking continent.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like apparently like a drug smuggler dropped it out of a plane by accident, and this bear ate $15 million worth of cocaine and died.
I wonder what actually happened in that 5 minutes, though. Like, you know, it dropped out of the air.
Oh, he only lived for 5 minutes?
Well, that's the estimate of the tweet.
Yeah,
It's
there was
like-
probably about a
that's-
5-minute window before it died where.
Yeah,
it was
No,
named
this
Apex
is a
Predator.
no. This is all a cover up. They just TMZ refused to sell this news agency the footage of the bear partying ridiculously in strip clubs all across North America.
Cell phone footage.
Dude, what is that picture? That's awesome.
That's the cocaine bear in a museum.
What? They taxidermied it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's got a little thing around its neck that says cocaine bear.
Where is this?
Kentucky. Lexington, Kentucky.
I've never wanted to visit something more in my life.
Go visit Moscow Mitch and see the cocaine bear.
Moscow Mitch.
Dude, that is ridiculously badass.
Oh shit, I didn't bring it up for the viewers at home.
Oh yeah, pop him
Have
the
a read,
cocaine
folks.
bear.
Oh, there we
Oh
go.
Christ, we're in the regular view now.
We're in the
Sorry, we're
regular
out of the
view.
news one.
Yeah, we're out of the
That's not-
news.
that's
Everyone has
Oh.
mics all of a sudden.
Okay.
It was just Christian before.
All right, we all good.
Yeah, that news screen worked in its previous context, but we should have one where all mics are free. Free those mics.
Yes.
I have one more, not the Onion news headline.
Hell yeah.
Man facing car theft charges arrested after allegedly arriving at court in a stolen vehicle.
What?
Bullseye.
Nice. You hit the nail on the head right there.
I believe that. I've known people who had court dates and didn't go because they couldn't get a ride. Could you imagine
the
being
bus.
such a fucking ne'er-do-well?
Just take
Can't
the
do
bus.
can't do Skype court date.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Do they look like this?
All right, thanks.
Here we go.
You're like ripping balls.
Whoa.
What is this?
The I got court starter pack.
Oh, I love this meme. Holy shit.
Those fucking black shoes. Those black shoes.
The I got court start.
Those
the
McDonald's
Oakleys, man.
black
How to
shoes.
tie a tie? Oh my
fucking
god, that's
Oakleys.
perfect.
Oh, look, the undershirt under, like the dress shirt. You see that? Do you
Oh,
see
yeah,
that shot
yeah,
at the
yeah,
bottom?
yeah. There's the fine line.
Now, you know my favorite thing about this starter pack is it's multi-purpose. Because first they use it for court when they're getting their license taken away. And then you catch them at like some family event or something a little more formal 7 months down the line and they wear the same outfit.
Yeah, and have
Something
less hair.
important is happening. Starter pack.
Yeah, definitely have less hair.
You notice how that's Eminem's hair next to the shoe?
Pretty much.
Is it?
Yeah, it actually is like his eyebrows.
Oh, the
Oh
people.
my
The people
God.
can't see it. The people can't see
The
it.
people can see it.
No, the people can't see it.
It's in the
Gotta
phone view,
transition
is
it.
not?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't double click. I'm so sorry, viewers at home.
That's all right.
We've been having
go.
such a lull, such a lollygagging lull. And,
Isn't there
Adam,
some?
There it is.
Would you like some pizza, or
I'm okay right now, thank you.
if you're not okay?
Thank you.
I couldn't
but
help
man.
myself.
Perhaps once we're out there,
Yeah.
got some things to do up here.
Isn't there
so
something
sorry.
with Marshall Mathers' hair where like doesn't he dye it blonde when he's like using or something?
That's when he's like Slim Shady.
That
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
that sounds like a left earring, right earring type of thing. If you have one, it means you're gay, but if you have the other one, it means you doesn't.
There's so many
What
things
kind
out there
of-
like
oh
that.
my-
You never heard that
Really?
before?
I have,
This
but I
color
mean, just
of
like every time I
bracelet
hear it,
means
it's just
this if you
like,
pull it off.
Which one's
Why
the
do you
gay
think I got
side?
2 piercings? Because I
yeah,
couldn't
it's
remember
like,
the old
"Jeez,
riddle.
guys, come on.
Me too.
What else do I got here?
Pizza.
Woodstock 50 canceled
What? Who's supposed to play?
officially this time. I don't know. Can you bring up the set list?
I
I just
sure
keep
can.
hearing about like all this bullshit with it, where it's like, oh, it's moving. Oh, tickets are no longer free. Okay, tickets are free again. Like just all this information just kept changing. day after day after day. And finally, I think it was last week, they just announced that it's canceled. But I'm sure now that you're looking through the news, it's going to be back on again. How like bipolar this festival has been.
We got some very conflicting coverage here. So we have like weird, ambiguous headlines, like "Why Woodstock Can Never Happen Again." The bizarre trip that was almost Woodstock 50 from 23 hours ago. But then we also have friggin' the dates apparently, but like how recently were those posted?
Do any of them look like they'll have like the
Let's go to Wikipedia.
the bands that? Yeah, check the Wikipedia.
Good old Wow. All right.
Oh, to the right. Is that all the bands?
We got a final cancellation section here as well, but yeah, we got a poster. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. okay.
Enhance.
I clicked the zoom in button and it decided to. Oh come on! What is this? It's a freaking JPEG. The freak is this?
Yeah, some.
Dude, when I come
What?
across
What is
images
this?
like this on the internet, I've never hated anything more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to enhance an image that you think is going to be clear, that it's all pixelated.
All right, we're just gonna.
For some of the
image search
bands
the
we've had on-
poster, not potato.
I'll be trying to find funny photos or something of them, like dig up the past a little bit. And occasionally you'll come across something on like Google Images where you see a really funny picture of the band, but then you enlarge it at all and it turns into like 4 pixels. And I'm like, oh my god, like I can't even show this to them because it's so
Do it for
garbage.
the clout.
Yo,
It's from like that stretch of time where
It's
like,
4
phone
pixels.
cameras were so fucked up. You remember that shit? Like
Mhm.
they were just putting ass cameras in everything. So every photo for like a stretch of 5 years looks ridiculous.
it's like this tiny little square at the top left of
Yeah.
your screen when you open it
Yeah,
up.
man.
Do you know that there's a Chrome extension called "Make Google Images Great Again"? And it's it lets you like open the picture, just the picture. You don't go to the website anymore. You know?
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Yeah, it's the way it used to be. It's
Taste
so
of the
funny.
glory.
Because the reason they changed that is because like they wanted to promote like I guess journalism making a bit more money off their clicks and whatnot. So
Mhm.
if you want to see the picture, you got to go to the site. But you can get that Chrome extension and be a bit of a douche about it,
But
which is nice.
you're forced to be a douche about it
Yeah.
because how many websites do you click on that photo and you try to go see it and then there's no way to see it? Like
Yeah.
the New York Times is like, pay me. And you're like, what?
Why?
Pay me. And it's like yelling
didn't-
at you to turn off your ad blocker and shit. I'm like, fine. You'll never get my click again.
Yeah, you
Ever.
didn't pay for this picture. Well, I guess they paid for the picture. They didn't create the picture a lot of the
Right.
time.
Right.
So, I get that you pay licensing for the picture, but I'm just pulling it up to show somebody.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I'm
then
not
you
publishing
pay,
it.
then you pay, and then they still have ads running on their page.
Yeah,
so
it's like, what
the
the
fuck
fuck,
did you pay
guys?
for?
Come on.
It's just like cable. That shit drives me insane. You
Yeah,
pay
it's like-
such a massive premium, but you're bombarded by 90% commercials during your viewing time. Makes no
Nuts.
sense. And just so many people sit by and just absorb that shit. It's like,
They just
just
take it on the
cancel,
chin.
Just cancel the cable bill. Just everybody cancel cable for one day of your life, and the networks will remove every goddamn commercial, or they'll make your cable free. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Man,
Go for it.
But nobody's that coordinated. It's too bad.
it's true.
Nope.
We could really get some shit done, I think.
It is a shame. And we got some flies really making their home up on this monitor.
Yeah, this
But
room is
we have a set list here if you want to see.
the Woodstock set list.
So, I don't know.
I
I feel like I should just read like the top 2 lines of each. Or
Yeah,
maybe
just
Okay.
read the important artists.
So, day 1. The Killers, Miley Cyrus, Santana, The Lumineers, The Raconteurs, Robert Plant, and the Sensational Space Shifters. Nathaniel Ratcliffe
Is that his
and the
band's
Late
name?
Night and the Night Sweats.
Is that
John
Robert
Fogerty.
Plant's
Yeah.
band name? That's awesome.
yeah.
Also, line 3. I'm breaking my own rules here. Run the Jewels, The Heat and the Heart, or The Head and the Heart. Jesus Christ. Maggie Rogers, Michael Franti, and okay, it's a bunch of other people, but Run the Jewels was at the start of that line.
Yeah. That was cool.
Just scanning for other people. Blah, blah, blah.
Awesome,
I don't
sounds
know
pretty
those people.
dope.
Day 2, Dead End Company, Chance the Rapper, The Black
No.
Keys.
Yes, performing his hot
Sturgill Simpson.
new
Hot
album.
new
His hot
record.
new album. Greta Van Fleet, everyone's favorite.
Yes.
Portugal the Man, Leon Bridges, Gary Clark Jr., Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros.
Careful, dude. You got a cord that's about to rip out behind you.
Oh, yeah.
It was the blue cord behind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just when you were turning, it
We
was getting
good?
yanked.
Okay. I won't jeopardize it any further. I apologize. I'm spinning my chair so I can stay coordinated and read without stammering. All right. Edward Sharp. We got David Crosby and Friends. Dawes. God damn it. The third line always gets me. They have someone I recognize at the start.
You say
and then a bunch-
daughters?
Dawes. D-A-W-E-S. I don't know.
Dolls.
I only started reading the third line of that one because David Crosby was on it. They got me again. Anyway.
Was that day 3?
That was day 2.
Okay.
This is all very tedious, of course. Day 3, Jay-Z, Imagine Dragon. Ooh, everyone.
Imagine
Everyone loves
Dragons.
Imagine
Jay-Z
Dragon.
by himself?
I guess so.
They should have known this was a fake festival.
What about the Carters, bro? You gotta have the Carters. That's what they're
Carters.
called now. That's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Do you guys
Um,
like Beyonce?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she's fucking
Totally.
sick.
Do you like her
extremely
music?
talented.
I should have said.
The
I don't-
writing of it irks me occasionally. Not lyrically, compositionally. I can't really. It's just certain. I don't know.
I feel kind of the same way.
A
There's,
lot of
there's
pop
certain,
music bothers me. So,
Yeah.
just fundamentally, there's certain things where it's just like, come on, you're sneering at me a little bit too much, you know.
Yeah, I like to be like a little bit fooled at least.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like it to feel so mad libby and perfect for like, you know how like your brain has like a THC receptor. I don't want the pop music to feel like it's going right into my pop music receptor.
Right.
I want it to like at least
Yeah.
have a little bit something more going for it.
You want it to work its way up around the stem and sort
Right.
of go
Yeah,
into the,
yeah, yeah.
into the receptor.
Yeah, I
where
don't
you're
want
like,
to feel like
"Ooh, I didn't-"
addicted to it like heroin or something.
Yeah, you don't want it flying right in like a friggin' arrow, just like hitting you right on the friggin' nose of the receptor.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you
You don't
guys are on
want
the
that.
same page.
Are
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
saying you've never had a Backstreet Boys phase in your life?
I did. I actually went to go see fake Backstreet Boys. My mom and aunt.
Did they have a weird variant
Took-
of the name?
No, it was just a ripoff. I'm pretty
Front
sure.
Street guys.
So, while
Front row
while the
guys.
Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls were in their prime, my mom and aunt took me to see a fake version of the Backstreet Boys
like Santa,
and
like
the
a mall
Spice Girls.
Santa of.
But it was like a big show still. It was bizarre, and I remember thinking it was the real thing, and then years later they were like, "No, it was like fake."
Like,
There
it's
was, like,
Backstreet Boys, but
Bootleg artists.
That's an unchecked
those are
market.
so
You
weird.
can have basically Santa-esque fake tribute bands for people who are popular amongst children because they're not going to friggin' know. Like, it's not a tribute band. You're pretending to be someone who's popular right now and just tricking children. And their parents go, yeah, you saw the real Backstreet Boys, sure. Just like you met fucking Santa at the mall.
You do.
You know? Like,
Yeah,
that's genius.
same
It's like
thing.
Slash in South Park.
Now, when I was a kid and I found this out,
Damn.
I was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." An artist
that's
can't
amazing.
travel all around the world. That doesn't make any sense. How are you gonna get all around the world?
Like Santa.
And it wasn't until I got older where I'm like, "Oh, this isn't something that happens really often."
Artists do travel all around the world.
No, yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
You've been had.
It's just very
been
strange.
had.
But I feel like for certain artists, it's like a perfect idea. Like MF Doom, there's always this hilarious myth. Well, it might not even be a myth, but that he sends fake Doom impersonators out to perform shows for him.
Like Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, man.
With Tony, I almost said Hinchcliffe. God damn it, it's not Tony Hinchcliffe. That's a real living comedian.
Or like Osama bin Laden, you know, there's a bunch of versions of him. You
Or
Yep.
Tupac. All the high vis Tupac photos we saw a couple
High-vis
weeks ago.
Tupac.
know?
Remember
High-vis Tupac.
Yeah,
Yeah.
high-vis.
Oh my god. That
Yeah,
shit's
yeah.
hilarious.
Tupac faked his own death to go work at a fucking airport.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds comfortable.
That would make sense.
yeah, sounds comfortable, man. He sees no changes.
I have
If
a
he's
question.
got a dip, he's catching the
Yeah.
flight.
He
What's
wakes
up?
up in the morning and he asks.
So, Lauren showed me this artist, Blood Orange.
Lorne Michaels?
Lauren Fletcher.
Blorn Michaels, Blood Orange Michaels.
All right, fuck.
Sure.
She showed me this band called Blood Orange.
Yep.
Or this artist, Blood
Hey,
Orange.
show me them. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, I went through a big portion of the rest of his or their or her catalog, and I didn't like it.
Why?
Really, it just didn't. That song specifically that I showed you, I like it so much that I feel like anything else in the catalog just wasn't living up.
You expected the rest of.
Yeah, because I was like, "Ooh, this is something special." Like, and then I went to the next song. I'm like, "This is fine, but it ain't that shit."
Yeah.
That's
Do you guys
rough.
ever? I wanted to ask, like, do you ever experience that?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of an example though, because you just like purge it from your mind
Right,
as
no,
soon
of
as
course.
possible.
It
Like,
just
man,
it
that
kind
was
of
a
got me
bummer.
thinking. Like, I feel like this is a symptom of majority of our music consumption coming from like streaming platforms where you listen to the single, which sometimes the
Yeah.
single is like the most catchy, most perfect earwormy thing created,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go and listen to the rest of the album later,
Yeah, exactly.
and then sometimes it lives up and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like back in the day when I would grab a CD or a cassette and pop it in, you just start from number one. Except like on the odd time, maybe you would skip to
It
a
felt
track.
more linear before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like I heard this song before I was supposed to hear this song, and it's now wrecked that artist for me. I'm gonna keep trying because I think this song is like the greatest thing I've heard in the past little while.
Sometimes you want to give that second chance and wait for the next thing that they put
Of
out.
course. Well, I also keep in mind that listening to music depends on like your mood and what I ate, where I'm sitting, how I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
So like, what's the word?
There's
Particular.
Particular. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the right thing
It's
for it.
Pacific. It's
Yeah, very
less
Pacific.
Atlantic than you would think it would be.
You're right. Very nautical, nonetheless, though.
Correct.
So, where do you think you'll have to be in order to appreciate Chance the Rapper's new album?
Nowhere,
In
dude.
a garbage bin.
Yeah, honestly.
In a K-hole.
Honestly.
Cave.
Okay, so I don't know if I talked to you guys about this last week because I don't remember if you guys had listened to enough of it for me to want to bring anything up. But I'll tell you this now. So I compare this Chance's record to like Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi made Speeding Bullet to Heaven, which is an experimental, hellish nightmare album
Right.
that sounds pretty bad. Like, objectively, it sounds pretty bad.
Okay.
It's kind of all over the place, random, but it was still really experimental. So I was like, okay, it's a fumble along the path to
Okay.
getting something better, like
Yeah.
on a later album.
Yeah, it's like a.
Where
yeah.
this Chance record, I feel like there was not a single risk taken on anything, and everything was like drawn in such a boring and predictable manner.
It's very
where
surface level.
Yeah,
It was
it's
very
very
careful.
shallow. So
Yeah.
I can't even look at it and go, okay, this is a fumble that will lead to better things. I look at this record and go, this is a fumble that may make me never excited to listen to another project from him because I feel betrayed.
Unless he gets a divorce.
Yeah,
but
but I feel betrayed.
I don't want to say that.
I
but
feel
I mean,
betrayed.
Like,
You know
What's
what I
wrong
mean?
with his wife?
no, it's like
Nothing,
it's
he
like
loves his wife,
yeah,
dude.
He loves his wife.
Why doesn't Ian love his wife?
No, because like his new people are like, I haven't really listened to much of it personally, but a lot of people are saying that the album is like, you know,
Not good.
it's just him,
Fantano
like-
gave it
just him like
Zero.
celebrating like
Good.
his
Red flannel.
family and shit like that, and being very kind of self-indulgent, I guess.
which is fine though. Like there's other
It's fine,
records that
yeah.
are like that.
Yeah.
It just
But
might
they're
not cater to the
interesting.
same. It just might not cater to the same market that he used to. Like,
I don't know
Yeah.
what market this is even catering to because pretty much
Exactly,
across the
yeah.
board, it's like this thing stinks. I've been listening to a ton of podcasts with a bunch of people in the hip hop industry who are like, "Yikes,
Yeah.
that thing ain't no good."
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what happened there?
Yeah. All right.
Cover-
And then
cool.
I guess he was being interviewed the other day, and he was asked what his favorite project from himself was, and he said acid rap. And that just like adds
course.
so much more insult to injury because it's like, well, why don't you make
Yeah.
music like that, dude?
Why don't you like your new stuff?
Right.
Yeah,
We don't
well,
either. Like, come on,
I
guys.
guess. Yeah.
It makes me so curious, like what goes on behind the scenes for him, because it seems like
Well, it kind of just.
he's the
maybe-
type of dude who has everything in his favor to make a fantastic record,
Yeah.
and if not fantastic, at least listenable by the masses.
Maybe-
Like this is
yeah.
actually doo-doo. Like this won't go on the
Yeah.
radio or anything.
Yeah. I think it's the fact that he's also just like a really creative person, but maybe
Right.
in the sense of how he outlets that is what he's like going through at the time. So like acid rap speaks for itself in
Sure.
some sense, and maybe other albums are more of like what's going on in his life at the time, and then this is like all that's going on in his life, and it's like all right, like, yeah, we get it, dude, but like, what else? Like, what else you want to talk about? You know what I mean? Like, what other
Yeah.
messages you trying to convey? Like, we get it, like you're celebrating, but you know,
Yeah, I get.
Like,
I
that's
guess
it's
that
that kind of
plays
thing.
into why it sounds so superficial. Because like, there are topics that could be dug into a little bit on the record that he just doesn't go into. There are moments where you'll hear a few lines and you're like, oh, we're like gonna go there. Like the
Yeah.
song's gonna step it up a notch, and then it doesn't, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And it just keeps doing that over and over again. Like,
yeah, you feel like it's gonna get somewhere, and then you're just like, oh, okay, cool. It's like back to this, and
right. Like, by all means, talk to me about God, but like explain it in a manner that's actually interesting to listen to. Not, I
Yeah.
believe in God. I believe
Yeah.
in God. I love my wife. I
Yeah.
believe in God. Jesus.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe he's getting like a Christian grant from Chicago.
You
And
never
he
know.
just has to. He
It's
just has to
straight-
give back to the church.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! It's straight from the Vatican, dude.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
ain't
The-
getting no grant
the
from
Pope's
this
just like,
Christian.
I'll give you all the money.
Yeah,
If
yo,
you can make
yo.
an album
Look
that we
up,
can put on
Adam.
our
Can you
church.
bring up the
And the
album
CD
cover
has to
for
look
it?
holy.
Yes.
The big day.
So the album cover
See-through
is this like crystal covered CD.
Yeah.
What if the crystal covered CD is actually
Jesus mixtape?
Yeah. It's an artifact of Christ. And it's Jesus' mixtape. And
Oh
Chance
my
listened
God.
to it, and God asked him to translate Jesus' mixtape for the modern era, and Chance just fucked it up. And now Jesus Christ will never rise again because Chance the Rapper fucked up his
So
mixtape.
he's actually the so Chance the Rapper is actually the Antichrist.
Yes, dude.
Oh my God. That's why he never takes off his hat.
Yo, we
He
cracked
just has a giant horn under it. It's like a little. It's like a little like buffed out turtle shell on his head. Used to be a horn.
Yeah, that's what the record looks like.
Wow.
And I guess-
there aren't any diamonds in that rough.
Oh, I
I'm
think
pretty
they're all
sure
crystals.
That's a real thing too.
Technically
that CD.
correct.
I saw some post on Instagram. Somebody made it for him,
Oh, that's sick.
and the one that
The
was
record?
made, yeah, that CD in the picture, and the one that was made, I think, got photoshopped a few out of them because it looked a lot more bedazzled, but not like, stupidly more.
Oh yeah. When I
But, like,
was
yeah, that's a
when I
real
was
thing. It's not,
looking
like,
at the
just a
album
Photoshop,
cover,
which is cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was looking at the album cover, I noticed there's like purposefully like little lens flare flashes
Yeah.
added onto some of the diamonds. I'm like, that's tacky.
Yeah,
Looks tacky.
exactly. It's called the Big Day. Like, all right, dude. Like,
the big day.
And if you
you're
made a
good
physical
rapper, but, I mean,
object
not
of it,
interested.
Well, he's
Yeah.
doing some cool marketing with it. I guess he paired up with Swarovski crystals.
Oh,
And he's-
Swarovski.
Oh, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, Swarovski.
Oh, I apologize for my ignorance. I
Yeah,
don't
dude, come on,
buy
man,
a
get
lot
some
of
fucking class and
crystals.
grace up in this piece.
So I guess he partnered with them, and he opened like this little pop-up shop, kind of like art gallery, where like the microphone he used to record the record is in there, but it's like all covered in crystals, and the pianos that he used on the record are in there and all covered in crystals. It's kind of neat.
No one will buy them, I
Interesting.
guess. But all right.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're for sale.
Oh.
Listening to this record, I think Chance is so self-indulgent that he's taking the crystal statue of himself home and he's putting it in front of his mirror.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's
you
putting
got that
it-
Grammy, man.
He's putting it in his bathtub.
I thought he wanted to just like ruin another business with him at the same time.
Doritos.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'll
Yeah.
never cleanse that
Don't
Doritos
you just wish
commercial
now he
from
was
my
doing
head.
the Doritos? Don't you just wish
know,
now
Dude,
he
that
was
was a high point in Chance's career
yeah.
compared to this.
Doritos
exactly.
to
The
diamonds.
big dump. That's what I keep calling it.
Doritos to Diamonds, the Chance the Rapper documentary.
Oh my god! And instead of like the CD in the hand, it's like a fucking big ass Dorito,
big
like a 3D Dorito.
Yeah, dude. When anybody asks me about this record in the foreseeable future, I'm just referring to it as the Big Dump by Chance
Big
the
Dump.
Crapper,
Dump.
or by Pants the Crapper.
Pants the crap.
Dude, come on. Post that shit right away.
Pants the Crapper.
You just have to put a picture of his face on it.
The Big Dump.
The big dump.
Yeah.
What a!
And it's just
a
him
national
holding- him
tragedy,
holding
dude.
just a-
National treasure.
It's a national tragedy. You think
The
so?
thing that kills me too is he put out like a
Do
couple
you think this will
records.
be the reason about why there's an economic collapse in Chicago?
I thought there already was.
Well, this is the reason why it will not solve itself. There's a bit
I don't
on-
know, dude. I'd be curious to see how the Chicagoites support the record because
Yeah,
I know
me
they're
too.
like pretty tight knit, Like, even though it's an extremely violent city at times, I know like the music community there is pretty tight knit
Yeah, totally.
and kind of like likes to put each other on regardless of what kind of quality level you're at.
It makes you wonder if like people who live in Chicago kind of recognize that Chicago hip hop sound and wonder, like, you know, maybe Chance has any little bit of that in his music resonating still.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
You never
true.
know.
Yo, that reminds me of a Japanese word. So I don't know what the word is, but I just remember I saw this part of a documentary about how Japanese language is super sophisticated, and they have words for like things that we can only clumsily describe.
It's like
with,
very
certain
descript,
sentences.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this one term that reminds me exactly of that. I forget what it is, but it means like when a sumo wrestler who it has like some tenure and they've been in it for a while, they let a newcomer kind of win, sort of a little bit, and everyone sort of knows that they let them win, but it's an honorable.
I've heard
it's
this
an
word as
honorable
well.
Thing. It's in Freakonomics. They talk about that.
Yeah, I
And,
heard a guy.
But yeah, that's basically what you're
honorable thing,
describing, where
yeah.
it's just like, well, you kind of know he sucks, but he's part of our community.
Right,
We got to raise him up with
right.
the rest of us, kind of thing. You know,
And I think that's super dope.
it's really cool. But like, you know,
That's
if you
how the big day
if you
was made.
squander,
Yeah, dude, you fucking go.
Yeah, you go, man. First independent artist Grammy. Yeah, go, man.
if you squander your community support though, like frig off, you know, don't be
Yeah.
doing that.
It's funny that you bring up that word that means like go a little easy on the guy.
Yeah.
I've heard somebody mention this as well in terms of like fighting game communities where like you can have a new guy come in and have like an old head who's been like rocking Street Fighter for 2 decades, like go and play him and school him so bad he never wants to come back, or you can tone your skills back. You don't have to let him win, but you have to let him get a couple punches in.
Yeah.
So then he wants to still come around and keep
True.
supporting the community.
Rats do that. Apparently, rats have a sense of fair play. I don't know. I saw this random. It was like I don't know. It was like a Joe Rogan clip with Jordan Peterson or something. He's talking about how, like, even rats when they like play fight and shit. You know how like if a dog, if like when they're ready to play, they kind of do this thing where they go, and they like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
put,
They get
put
the
all their limbs
stance
down
on.
and they go like, yeah.
But
We're-
their tail's still wagging.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're down for some stuff. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
fun, you know. And rats do that too. So rats
Interesting.
will play fight with each other, and if like a bigger rat doesn't let the smaller rat win, like one in every like 4 or 5 times, the smaller rat won't play with the bigger rat anymore. So rats
Interesting.
actually have like a sense of like fairness because they're like, well, I want him to still be able to play, so I'll let him win sometimes.
Well,
Isn't that crazy?
I guess that's probably why they use rats for so many testings of things that will handle like pleasure centers of the brain.
they're wicked smart, dude.
Yeah, interesting. Fucking rats.
Fucking rat.
Hey, what's a rat king? I keep hearing about
Oh,
a
I know
rat
what
king.
is.
A
All
rat
I
But,
know is
but
rats
not
are
a
outside.
Theo Vaughn,
Mice
but
are
like
inside.
It's when a bunch of rats are like holed up
Ah!
in a place. Yeah, it's when they're holed up in a place underground and their tails all get stuck together and they die and get mummified as like
Oh
Dude.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's pretty neat.
fucking
What?
bad
Isn't that
ass.
crazy?
And do people like take
horrifying.
them and make them look more
The Rat
geometric?
King.
No, they're just
No,
like
apparently
that.
they get stuck like that because they all are trying to run away from
Yeah.
each other.
But look
their
how, like,
tails are
Tails get,
knotted.
tied
Yeah, but
together.
it's crazy how they're all like facing the same direction and
That's
well,
probably
that's what I
probably
mean.
laid out. Like, but this one right here, like this big boy, that one's probably legit.
whoa.
It's crazy. They're all mummified.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine in like medieval times stumbling across this and how horrifying that scene would be?
The Rat King.
So I was just learning all about the Black Plague today, and it is scary.
Don't you
as
mean the
fuck.
Black Death?
The
is
Black
Is it
Death?
because you mistyped bubonic plague?
No.
about boobies. This is about plagues.
Actually, the bubonic plague. So it would give you like these large, like cyst-like things all over your body, and you know what they called them?
Boobs.
Boobas.
Boobas. Like that television show for children, Boobas.
I don't know. What is that?
Holy
Is it
frick.
about a plague?
It's about something.
Maybe there's plague implication.
Bah.
Signs of trauma.
Look at this shit.
That is creepy.
Whoa.
Brendan and I used to get really high, and we could never get high enough for this.
I was just gonna say,
You
did
know?
you guys ever
The
get
fuck is that?
so baked that you had to watch
From the makers of
Treehouse?
Poopsie the Unicorn.
to
Exactly.
cleanse your palate.
Yeah, but you can't get baked enough for this because it doesn't have fucking dialogue.
I don't like
just
its
noises.
neck.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's
they
like a
all fly-
Teletubbies kind of thing.
But they fly around and it's computer animated and there's no grounding in reality. It's madness.
They look like they would taste like Lil Peeps.
It's like some Wonder Shows and
Yeah,
shit.
they look
No, it looks like they would
delicious.
taste like turds.
Do you guys like, or what about the
Looks like
Poplars
Grimace.
Or
from
Poplars.
Futurama?
Oh yeah, they look delicious.
Poplars?
Yeah, dude, that
Yeah.
episode
Why does
drove
cartoon
me mad.
food always look way better?
look like-
But the Poplars
oh, I
are
want that
alive.
pizza,
They're the
man.
children of
Yeah.
like the Omicron Persei
Oh, I
aliens.
know,
aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah, but they always
Yeah.
just look so much better.
We
They
eat
did, and like the
eggs.
sound of them chewing on them,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
it was like it kind of looked like an upgraded popcorn chicken.
It did.
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
Juicier.
Yeah,
popcorn chicken.
If only KFC could reach Poplar levels of flavor.
Poplar Futurama. Yeah, there they are. Look at how delicious they
Oh
look.
They
man.
look so fried, guy. Oh yeah.
What's up with
Yo,
What's up with Lure?
Lure.
Over there just creeping like that's such
Just-
a weird
it's
shot.
it
Lure.
looks like
it's-
somebody
it's-
dropped their cell phone and
Yeah.
they took a picture of it.
His lure's their dad.
Yeah, but what's up with that
This is-
shot
oh,
of
yeah.
Lure?
True.
It
yeah,
just
that
looks
is
so
weird.
candid.
Instead of shooting it where I was,
It's-
you should have shot it where I was
I
going
assume
to
it's
be.
just been cut out of a section of like a much bigger picture.
Have you ever seen those like weird like transitional frames in cartoons where people are all stretched out and shit to like
I don't
make
know.
it? Oh my Christ!
Oh yeah,
Um,
like Simpsons
Yeah.
has a lot of those where they're just kind of like cartoons doing dramatic movements and like therefore their bodies looking really weird.
So like
It's so funny.
this for example. Like
That's part of like a complex gesture that feels like something when you see it, but it's
Right.
like one frame of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was
Or
his
like
like
this.
acid trip. Yeah,
these all look terrible on the green screen, by the way. But
that's such a funny one. That's
Oh
like,
yeah,
Oh,
Marge
yeah.
is losing her dress.
but yeah, that's a good one. Him spinning into a room or something. Yeah, super weird.
I wonder if you would like take a whole animation class on just doing these kinds of frames. I bet you would. Seems like
Absolutely.
kind of like a nuanced thing.
It's how
Yeah,
you
well,
do like
there's so-
motion blur and how you do like lots of like exaggerated gestures and stuff. Like when someone whips their body,
Right.
you
Yeah.
have to have them look sort of elongated in that motion, and then they get
Right.
there in their full regular.
Yeah, I
form.
used to make stick figure animations, and I remember letting certain like appendages like extend out much longer to get like the action of like arms and stuff whipping around.
exactly.
Simpsons has so many
Yikes.
weird. There's like
Bort.
there's so many Instagram pages dedicated to these weird like there's a Instagram page I follow called Squinty Eye Simpsons. And it's just all shots of them doing stuff like that. Like yeah, it's just all
Squinting
shots
their
of them where
eyes.
their like
Shot.
eyes are barely open.
Dude,
Just
the
Marge going-
internet is such an amazing and terrifying place.
Oh, that one. For
Oh, he
sure.
looks like he's from Beetlejuice.
That's a great one.
Krusty. Oh, that's what he
Looking
should
super
look like.
crusty. Oh
Krusty
yeah,
the Clown.
mad crusty.
Hey, I'm going camping next week. What should I bring?
Cooler.
Yeah,
5
cooler,
albums
full
to
of
listen to
sugar.
forever.
ice pack.
One ice pack?
Like ice packs.
nice.
Yo, I went camping with some friends one time, and their ice melted so badly, and they brought pizza pockets to eat, and they were just floating around in their fucking cooler full of water. And then they were
Ew,
still,
what the
dude,
fuck?
and they were
Did they
still
eat them?
eating them. Yeah, yeah. Putting them in the fire.
Like,
Put 'em
oh,
in
they're
the fire.
defrosted now.
Soggy pizza pops
Dude,
are
it
the
was
worst
sick.
thing imaginable.
Sick.
Ew.
Unless they like blackened them on the fire afterwards, there's no salvage.
No,
Ew,
they were
not
still
even.
leaving them
You'd have to
soggy.
basically burn them.
Yeah,
Jesus, and then
that's
kind
terrible.
Of
That's so terrible.
eat the filling
Fuck,
after.
man.
I'm thinking I'm gonna buy a nice skillet and make a nice steak dinner one evening.
Ooh. Or get yourself a wok or something. That'd be
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Mix
Yeah.
up some,
Yeah.
Get a nice
a few
wok pan.
things, you
I'm
know?
pretty excited. So I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm going to Toronto for half the week, and then into the middle of nowhere in the woods for the other half.
Bullseye.
Oh, bug spray and a lot of it
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it works
true.
more than you think, and
True.
you'll fucking
Yeah,
need it.
bug spray.
Also, a
Um,
rosary in case you need to do a little bugs pray. Please God, no bugs this time. Okay, bye bye.
Dude,
Okay,
that's
bye-bye,
dumb.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. You're right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the contrast from going from the busiest city anywhere around us to dead
isolation.
silent in isolation.
Well, you'll have stars again. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm excited
Hell
for
yeah.
both little things for different reasons.
Are you gonna howl like the wolf?
I'll be hungry like the one.
Whoa.
I hope so.
Is that a little Duran?
Hey.
Duran.
Did you guys catch Men Without Hats downtown?
No, they were playing downtown. Yeah, they were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played
No, I
last
didn't.
week.
Yeah,
Downtown
man.
Kitchener.
What?
Yeah, dude.
The safety
I
dance.
saw
Why did nobody tell me?
because
What
there
the
was also
fuck?
an Antifa rally going on, and a neo-Nazi party was also joining the fun.
Jesus Christ, man.
Quite bizarre. But
Condoms everywhere.
you can redeem yourself at Blues Fest this weekend.
Are they also playing?
No,
I'm out.
I think Tom Cochran is playing.
Ooh.
Kim Mitchell is playing,
Kim Mitchell. Get some patio lanterns.
and that's all I know. There'll be like
Okay.
hundreds of other artists, but I don't know. Do you guys ever go to Blues Fest?
Yeah, I've been
occasion.
before.
Yeah, I've been before.
I'm so sad I missed Ray Manzarek like the year before he died. Holy shit.
Shitty. I caught Johnny Winter there, and
Oh.
that was fucking rad.
He's Edgar Winter's brother.
Yeah.
He
I
shrapes.
called my my dad and said, "Guess who's here? Guess who's here?" Oh, and I think what's his name? Is it Rick Derringer?
Derringer, yeah.
Rick Derringer
Rick
was there.
Derringer.
My brother's
that
friends
same
were
year.
heckling him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he killed it. Rock and roll hoochie coo. That
Fuck
shit's
yeah.
the fucking
Oh my
bomb.
god.
You don't like that too?
No, I love it.
Apparently
I
they
mean,
waited around for that and they heckled all
That is, yeah, and he saved
Oh,
it for
that's
last. He
hilarious.
kept this, or maybe second from last. Because I waited for a long time to hear that as well.
One of Evan's more insensitive friends was yelling, "Drop dead, Rick."
Jesus.
That's
what you
really
want.
funny.
It's motivating.
I feel like one of them also did that to Kim Mitchell too. They're
Drop
just,
dead, Kim.
They're just out there
Ah,
having fun, you know.
yeah, I guess.
Are you guys gonna go?
Blues Fest.
Yeah.
I'm out of town.
Oh yeah, where are you
I
going?
don't know.
We'll Sega.
Cool, man.
Sega.
Vacation Brothers.
Yeah,
Nice.
boy, going to a
Maybe you guys
wedding.
can coordinate and meet up.
Hell no, I don't want to see it in nobody.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't want to see you either.
I'm leaving town for a reason.
If I see your face on the beach, I'm gonna puke.
I'm gonna call you.
Don't.
Yeah.
Get
Actually,
ready.
yeah, we're gonna go out of our way to.
If I'm in
to-
Toronto, I'll answer. If I'm in the woods, my phone is gonna be off for 3 days.
All right, man. Have fun.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Well, that's about all I have to talk about today.
Yep.
You guys got anything else?
I don't think so.
Alan?
What do you guys think about the chase going on with those two guys?
Oh.
The
Oh, that
Cross
cr-
Canada chase?
The cross
Yeah.
Canada manhunt for those.
That's kind of wild,
For
isn't
those-
it?
It is pretty wild. I
Yeah.
heard that a lot of people in BC are quite afraid to leave their house because of it.
Well, they don't have to worry because apparently there was someone reporting about them being in like Pickering or something.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
They've
good.
been
Yeah.
searching like rivers.
That's
and
really
lakes for their
funny.
bodies and stuff too. So
Yeah.
like,
It's really funny
have
because
no
I could have
friggin'
swore the
idea.
RCMP just said, we have them surrounded.
really,
We just have to wait for them to come out of the woods.
just recently, like today.
No, this was like
shit.
several
No.
days ago already.
just type in manhunt.
Do you
I feel
think
like
they'll
there's
catch
so
them?
many things that could have
You know
happened,
what?
man.
I know that if they catch them, they're it too.
True.
It's a manhunt, guys.
They might be dead.
It's entirely.
An
all I
abandoned
know-
boat
I wonder
if
leads
they'll turn
police
on each
to
other.
There you
the...
go, CNN.
Do you think?
I wonder if they'll turn on each other.
They probably listen to Marilyn Manson.
Whoa, an abandoned
I don't
boat.
think so.
They
It's
probably listen to Insane Clown Posse. Look at these guys.
Yeah, these guys are more.
Yeah,
Yo, the
dude,
one guy has a
he's
cat,
wearing-
Kitty Cthulhu shirt.
yeah.
Oh, don't bring Lovecraft into
And
this.
apparently the other dude enjoys collecting Nazi memorabilia, but his dad insists that he's not a neo-Nazi.
Oh yeah. Well,
Makes a lot of
Lemmy
sense.
wasn't. So
Did he collect a lot of Nazi memorabilia?
he
as
had a
well?
room full of it and shit, and he had like
Interesting.
he would like. There's a part in his documentary where he rents a tank. He's wearing the hat and he's driving the tank, and he's standing next to it, and he's like, "I don't get why it's bullshit that people call me racist." Like, he's like, and
What the
well,
fuck do you expect?
Well, just the way Lemmy says it though, you're like, well, fuck yeah, because he goes, ask any of my black girlfriends if I'm racist, and then
I
it's like,
hate
oh,
that
okay.
excuse though. I
That's
hate
true.
that
That's
excuse.
true.
Tom Segura like played this chick on his podcast the other day who's like, it doesn't matter if I say the N-word. I have a black cousin.
Dude, true. That's such
And I had
bullshit.
I have a
God.
black
That is-
ex-boyfriend. And it's
that's
like,
such
what
bullshit.
are you
It's
talking
no,
about?
No.
You're out of your mind.
That is such
That's
bullshit.
like entitlement down to the language. It's
Yeah,
so
man,
stupid.
Yeah.
for sure.
I feel like I did Lemmy a disservice. You should see the clip. He seems more fascinated by it. He doesn't espouse any Nazi ideologies.
No, for sure. Lemmy's a
Yeah.
fucking badass.
I'm glad I cleared
Rip.
his name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lemmy. Put you on the line for a second there.
Yeah, so these guys are running across
yeah,
Canada.
fuck
Look
Yeah.
out.
So, what was the last time they were seen? What's going on there?
They're seen looking like a couple of neckbeards, except for one who couldn't grow a beard, so he just wore that.
He looks like
instead.
Martin Shkreli,
He
the dude on the
does.
right.
Yeah.
No, man. That's what I thought. Martin Shkreli and some
Yeah.
kid, like the annoying kid from some cartoon or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Where
Dill?
were they last seen?
Who's
I think they were last seen in this foot Hadge, but I feel like that was
Oh no,
in,
that's like
BC
no,
somewhere,
that was
or
like
Manitoba.
way,
Yeah,
way.
that was
ago.
a while ago.
That's
That
like
was
a
face.
Home
That's the last
Depot.
time.
No, but
That's the
they've
last
been
time they were
seen.
like.
But they've been like
That's the last time
reported.
they were like recorded though, wasn't it?
No,
Like
because
they've been spotted in a lot.
Yeah.
Of
Is that the
cases.
boat?
I don't know. The story should
We got a boat.
say.
Is that the pictures
what's
of
been
the
going
boat?
on.
We're being real shit journalists right now.
Is that pictures of the
yeah,
boat?
the article should
Apparently.
say.
That looks
where
like a
they're at.
shitty ass boat.
Aluminium boat. Sorry, I just had to pronounce it wrong.
Can you make that larger? Does that boat look as shitty to you guys as it does to me?
Looks like a mattress.
Yeah.
Thought it was a box
I don't
spring,
know.
to be honest.
I'd mount that craft. Looks like looks like a
Back when
serviceable
my
seafaring
parents'
vessel.
subdivision was under construction, they would dig all these foundations for homes, but they would sometimes fill up with water. And I would go steal a pallet that they would like pile sod onto, and I would sail it in the water. I would fill it up with like insulation styrofoam and just ride it across the foundation of a home.
That's dope,
It was the coolest playground.
man. You must have
construction
really trippy
site.
Dreams.
I
With,
do.
like, weird childhood bits of that implanted into them. Man, that's got to have some trippy imagery.
I do have a ton of very strange dreams, and whenever I tell anybody, they tell me never to speak to them again.
Fuck yeah, I know that feeling. Hell
You guys,
yeah.
do you guys ever find like certain substances or like whatever, like alcohol, like makes your dreams not like crazier?
Alcohol?
For me, alcohol like makes my dreams
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I have
scary,
crazy
man.
dreams on alcohol.
Oh
Yeah, I have
Nothing
weird
else,
ones on
yeah.
alcohol. Nicotine used to give me really vivid dreams when I used to smoke.
Oh yeah.
It would be like, it felt like as soon as I fell asleep, I would start having a dream. If I like had a cigarette before bed.
Have you seen the movie Coffee and Cigarettes?
Mm-mm.
It's really good. It's got all these short little vignettes, little black and white conversations with like actors and musicians and whoever. There's a segment with Bill Murray talking to the RZA and the Jizza, and it's fucking amazing. And they talk about drinking a bunch of like coffee or tea before bed and having like dreams on fast forward. And it's like I can never sleep.
I feel like
on
I've heard of this
caffeine,
before, yeah.
but it's super dope. Yeah, if you've ever seen a picture in black and white of Bill Murray sitting there with like a coffee pot in his hand with the RZA and the Jizza just at a table kind of looking at him. I just realized I'm in front of a portal to every image ever captured. So
All right,
Open that
we'll
portal
catch
up.
this image, and then you guys want to pin it?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
man.
first thing that comes up, Bill Murray.
Well, thanks for enjoying the pizza with me, guys. You know.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the slice, dude. It was really good.
Pizza time, pizza time. There it is. Hell yeah, dude.
Cool.
So yeah, there's the.
I hope to one day be
Unthrilling
in
conclusion.
some iconic photo.
You will.
That's my one dream.
You maybe already have been.
That is true. All right, peace.
Peace,
See
yeah.
ya.
Thanks for
Where's
having
the
me.
outro? I found it.
Ah!
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Christian's post Ape Audio podcast Destiny 2 rant. So, have you guys ever played a video game and grinded out something for so long? Like, I'm gonna say a solid 23 to 30 hours to receive something so minuscule, and you just think to yourself, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
If the answer is